Hello everyone. It was a busy weekend, so it's time to go wild. After a busy weekend of ice hockey action, it's the Time to Go Wild radio show podcast for another week. We are available on YouTube and Podbean, also available on Google Podcasts and Amazon Podcasts. If you want to contact us throughout the week, you can do so, Facebook or Twitter.com/TTGW Radio. You can also email us, ttgwradio@outlook.com. We can also be text contacted, 07849 767755. What a weekend we had, and what an absolute manic game on Sunday. Here we go. It's time to go wild. Hello and welcome once again to the Time to Go Wild radio podcast. And after a little bit of a day off, after the manic goings on at Planet Ice Widnes on Sunday night, we can reflect a little bit on what happened. I hope you've all been having a good start to your week, and what can I say? Well, it was a busy weekend for me. Saturday we had under-10s action at Planet Ice Widnes, and what a joy it was to see all the under-10s from the respective teams all out there giving their all. It's crazy stuff to watch as under-10s, but they don't stop. They don't want to stop. You no sooner finish a game and they want to start again. So if there's another game coming up for the under-10s, please come down, see them playing. They're great. They just have so much fun, and they really, really go out and enjoy themselves. So it was great seeing all the kids on Saturday. On Sunday, of course, we had the big derby game. Of course, the game on the Saturday for the M56 Cup has been postponed, but we have, of course, the game on the Sunday, which was manic. Absolutely manic. So you can just picture what the state of play was. And if you can hear my clickings in the background, it's because I am looking for something in particular to add into the news, which should be coming up in a little while. But in the meantime, unfortunately, I'm unable to bring you, as I just check while I'm recording this, the scores from the EIHA leagues across the weekend. So, unfortunately, we haven't got them, but what I can bring you is a little roundup of Elite League scores. So, without further ado, let's have some scores. So yeah, this week we're only able to bring you the Elite League scores at the time of recording of the show. Starting off with some Challenge Cup action on Saturday. Big game in Altrincham. Manchester Storm 6, Sheffield Steelers 4. And then on Sunday, Nottingham Panthers 5, Manchester Storm 4. And for the league, back to Wednesday the 2nd of November. Cardiff Devils 7, Fife Flyers 4. On Friday, Glasgow Clan 1, Belfast Giants 4, Cardiff Devils 6, Nottingham Panthers 2. On Saturday, Dundee Stars 1, Coventry Blaze 5. And then we had Fife Flyers 1, Guildford Flames 2 after overtime. And then on Sunday in the Elite League, Belfast Giants 9, Cardiff Devils 3, Sheffield Steelers 3, Fife Flyers 0, Coventry Blaze 3, Glasgow Clan 0, and finally Guildford Flames 4, Dundee Stars 2. That's the Elite League results for the last weekend. I mean, as you can tell, there's a lot going on for the IHA at the moment to get the scores and everything sorted out with the online, and it is causing a lot of disruption, but we do know that they will be working hard to make sure we can get them all updated as soon as possible. Now, we can bring you, of course, one EIHA result, which was the derby game from Sunday, I should say. And what a game it was. I couldn't keep up. It was YKK Widnes Wild 8, D-Side Dragons 6. And what a game it was. And we can announce as far as I'm aware, there is a correction on one of the Widnes goals. But the game started off with a right to and fro. Opening goal, 14 seconds into the game. Alex Parry from Andrew McKinney and Matt Wainwright. We then had to wait until 13 minutes 36 on the power play. It was Jonathan Williamson from Joe Greaves getting the first one. Didn't have to wait long for the next one though. 14 minutes 25 seconds. D-Side answered back. James Parsons from Matt Wainwright and Peter Valuziak. That was where it ended. End of the first period. Wild down by 1. Second period, well, it just went manic. 21 minutes 39. Wild equalised. Unassisted goal from Nathan Britton. Then D-Side answer back very quickly. I'm just checking some of the times on my goals. D-Side answer back very quickly with a goal from Peter Valuziak, from James Parsons and Jared Dickinson. Now I'm just checking, that's 30, yeah. And then I think it was again, I might be mistaken with this one. I'm trying to think if it's a 25 or a 35 on my sheet. But 33-10, short-handed, D-Side scored again. Jared Dickinson from Mike Clancy. Wild then got another one in for their third of the night. Joe Greaves from Nathan Britton. That's the way and then we had another one, 38-45. This shows how manic it is because of my sheet in front of me. It's a complete mess. Joe Greaves with his second from Joey Coulter. It's getting quite heated. So yeah, we've got 5 for D-Side and 5 for Widnes. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 for Widnes. Sorry, you can tell how bad this sheet is in front of me that I was keeping during the game. Third period started, and we waited till 44 minutes and 3. D-Side again getting off the mark. This time it was Josh Richardson from James Parsons and Peter Valuziak. Widnes somehow managed to turn things around. 44-31. Matty Barlow from Joe Greaves and Reg Taylor. Reg Taylor making his first game for the Wild this season. Then on the power play, 47-32. Matt Barlow again. Originally we recorded this as being Danny Haid, but it was actually Adam Jazeko. Got the assist from Miles Finney. Lovely play from Miles to see the opening there on the power play. Adam managing to get the puck through to Matty Barlow. 47-32. So I think that might be actually Miles' first point as a Wild player. He may have got some others, but I think it's his first point this season. So an assist for our goaltender there. 47-32 power play goal. 51 minutes and 8 seconds then. Next goal, power play from Joe Greaves to make it his hat-trick from Jack Murray. We had to then wait a little bit longer. D-Side were pulling the goaltender. Managed to get a power play. Unassisted goal from Ross Kennedy at 59-12. And then to seal the icing on the cake, in 25 years of watching ice hockey in Britain, be it as a spectator, as a videographer, as an announcer, in whatever capacity, I have never seen one of these given yet. Till Sunday night, a penalty goal. 59-57, a penalty goal awarded. Matt Barlow on a breakaway, on his own, on his way to the net, brought down. As soon as he was brought down, referee's arm straight out, awarded a goal. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, how is it a goal when he hasn't put the puck in the net? Well, I think the long and short of it is, you're the last man, you're on your way to the goal, somebody's basically come behind and brought you down. They've not got in front of you. They're from behind. You're on your own. You're effectively on goal. Yes, we have seen it in the past where people are, straight on an empty net and they've missed. But because of the fact that he was brought down, there was a penalty. It was a penalty goal. That is what can happen in those situations. If there'd been a goaltender, it could have well been awarded as either a hooking or a penalty shot. But on this occasion, it was a penalty goal. So there you go. Final score, Widnes 8, D-side 6. In terms of the penalties, well, I'm not even going to go through them because there were that many. It's one of the biggest number of penalties we've had on a game sheet for a long time. But as we all know, derby games between Widnes and D-side have always pretty much been of the no love lost, we'll say. They've been full of excitement, full of ups and downs. Sunday night, I should say, was no exception. That was the way the game ended. Shots on goal, 47 on Phil Pearson, 40 on Miles Finney. So in terms of shots on goal, fairly even. But, it was just one of those nights where it was going to be a lively night with the Wild and D-side. After the game, I managed to catch up with Lee Kemp, and this is what he had to say.
After an absolute end-to-end game between the YKK Widnes Wild and the D-side Dragons, I've managed to catch up with the big man, the sheriff himself, Lee Kemp. Well, Lee chased that game for a little while, but job done in the end.
I feel it. Do you know what? That feels amazing. After the last game in the Cup, to lose the way that we did. We knew tonight was going to be another tricky one. We started off really well. I think if I'm honest, I think for the full 60, I think we played really well. Even though we went down by a couple, we pulled it back, we kept going, we never backed down. We stood up for ourselves. I think it's just a great full 60, and to get one over on D-side's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, I mean, there's no love lost between the two clubs over the 10th season, so 10 years really, them be it on and off and a bit played against them, but there's been no quarter given once again. The fans totally entertained with just about everything they could ask for in a match.
Yeah, derby days are, I said it a couple of weeks ago, derby days are fantastic. Not just for us as players, but for the fans. You can see them all come down. Don't know how many are there tonight, but it felt unreal. D-side obviously being a new outfit again after a few years, they've brought quite a few fans down. And obviously we just go backwards and forwards. Fans go backwards and forwards, maybe players score. It's just a classic derby day.
Okay, very quick score to open things up from D-side, caught on the back foot, but kept digging in, and when it got rough, the rough got tough.
Yeah, we've said it for years. Everyone thinks like Widnes is just a fighting team or something, and we're not. We're really not, because when we play 5-on-5, we do that to teams, and then we let them take the penalties because we're doing that 5-on-5. But if they're coming at keepers or whatever like that, then yeah, we stand up for ourselves. We've got some young lads in cages. They're not afraid to throw hits around, but at the end of the day, they're still like 16, 17s. So they're not here to fight or anything like that. But if it needs to be stepped up, we've got a few players that can do that.
I mean, everyone stood their corner in the end, and a rare thing to see in a game is not just a empty net goal, it's actually a penalty goal given, and they're quite rare, those.
Yeah, I mean, Barlow was clean through. He put the burners on and had the D-men flat-footed. He was going to tap it in either way, so, if they're bringing him down, it has to be a goal either way. So, yeah, you don't see him very rare because the D-men will probably let him go, but it's goal either way, so I'm happy.
I mean, that extra insurance goal is always good. I mean, they kept fighting right to the end. Both teams, of course. Wild kept digging in, managed to pull that 2-goal lead. D-side pulled Phil, pulled it back to a 1-goal, pulled him again, and bingo bango, it was 8-6 in the end. But, feelings on the whole thing so far for yourself so far through the season?
I think, obviously, as a new season always is, it's going to be a learning curve for some players. Some players haven't played in this league before, so we had to gel it might have taken maybe a couple of weeks longer than what we probably would have liked. A couple of the results, I think, haven't gone our way, and we've been a bit slow coming out the blocks in the first and maybe the second. But as I think as a whole so far, I think where we probably want to be. We just keep going through the paces, take it game by day, and we see where we come. Like, I think that cup competition can help us a little bit, and the league will see it out himself. It's obviously another kind of season where players are just gonna up their games, and anyone can beat anyone, as we've already said. So it's just another great season, and long may it continue.
I mean, the fans tonight, both sides had plenty of support, and Wild fans, as usual, didn't let anyone down. It's great to see everyone here, as you say, and the noise, it just shows.
Yeah, we've said it for the past few weeks. Obviously, when we're not performing, you can hear it from the crowd. Like, I tend not to. I tend to block everything out, if I'm honest. But tonight, it's just a different level. Like I say, Derby days, everyone just comes with their voices, the drums there, TJ's dad's banging away. It's just a classic, and I love this kind of arena for that kind of atmosphere. A small rink like this, you hear everything, and it's just fantastic. It lifts us all boys up.
I mean, yeah, it is. We've known this place has become, Planet Ice Widnes has become a cauldron, be it for whatever hockey's played here, any team, they notice it. The noise just gets straight into your faces and into your ears.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the smallest rinks maybe in our league, and we're used to it. Even when we go to big ice, we're used to big ice. We play well on big ice, but some teams really underperform when they come to us because they just mistime things, maybe bounces or off the boards, and we can play that quick up, D to D, quick up through the middles, or we throw it in behind the D and get them turning. So we're used to this, and I just love this rink. It's fantastic. Like, all my time here, it's been great. So.
I mean, with the fans as well, that atmosphere just pressurizes everything down the ice. The noise comes through. Being on the opposite side of the ice for myself all these years, I still feel that wave come across, as well as what comes over from the fans who are stood, opposite the seats, and it just makes such a cauldron of a rink. And as you say, some rinks, it just misses it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I think like you said earlier, I think we went a couple of goals down maybe, and then the crowd get behind you, and then I think we went on a few power plays in a row because they were, they just couldn't handle our pressure. They took the penalties. We scored again. I think we scored again, and that's when the crowd starts lifting, and then their crowd's going a bit quiet, and their players are backing off and allowing this pressure to thingy, all because of the noise that comes from the fans, really.
I mean, this season, as we say, a few different players in the squad, new goaltender for the year. You have to adjust. Everyone has to sort of tweak their game a little bit to accommodate. But all in all, things seem to be coming together pretty well. You can hear the atmosphere coming from the dressing room where we're still doing the interview.
Yeah, I think Miles speaks for himself. He's a quality keeper. Like, we can allow certain kind of shots, I say, to get through the D because we know he's just going to mop it up. He's been a great signing for us this year. Joey coming back, he's quality. The new additions, they're gelling well, they're playing well, and it just helps us kind of old boys out. I'm not getting any younger, so to have a D-man like Jono who can go up and down the ice a lot better than me, it's a bonus for me, to be fair.
I mean, you and TJ, Tom Jackson, I mean, you're the big guys at the back, and if things get a bit stiff and a bit rough and start hitting hard, you stand there, and sometimes all you've got to do is just be there, and they know.
Yeah, I think obviously TJ tonight played really well. The one where he had a little scuffle with Kearney, I mean, I don't know how TJ's come off with a penalty out of that one. I mean, he never even dropped gloves, so bless the lad. And then obviously I don't really know what happened with mine. But again, it's just like the courtesy kind of thing, you're getting punches on the floor, and it's disgraceful, if I'm honest. It's not hockey, and it's just uncalled for, and that's why I just don't like D-side.
Well, this one's another one that, turn the page now, we get ready for next week. It's Blackburn here, a very different squad than before, different coaching, different styles from them, a lot of different players. So a bit of an unknown in a way.
Exactly. You know, they lost a lot of players, obviously, who went back to D-side. I don't think they started very well. I think a few results kind of didn't go their way, but they're picking up. You know, I think they've got another couple of new additions who are gelling well, and they're putting a few results together. And I think they're hot on our heels, to be fair. I think they're not far behind us in the league. So it'll be tricky. I think, obviously, that first period next week might be kind of a feel, like a gauge each other's teams wise, and, you know, hopefully we come away with another 2 points and just another win under our belts.
Well, it's one game at a time, and as you say, that's exactly what everyone's doing. So you can rest up, nurse the bruises. Beauty on the bottom of the chin there. So thanks for joining me once again. Lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, cheers, Carlton. Nice one.
Many thanks, Sir Lee, for joining me once again. Always good to have a chat with him after the game. But yeah, as he says in the interview, you know, derby games are derby games, and they are big, and you never know what you're going to get from them. Massive, massive game, and it's always going to be something special from them. And as you can tell, it was noisy, it was loud, and it's going to be an interesting one to watch back, I'll tell you, because I didn't see an awful lot of it. I was that busy taking notes, trying to keep my game sheet up to date and figure out what was going on around me. We were that busy in the bin. But big thank you to, of course, all of our people who turned up to support both teams. It was great having the barn so busy, so noisy, and it's always appreciated. And now I think it is time for a couple of items of news. Now, normally I would be actually looking at the police for this bit, but I'm going to start with some really good news. In the Elite League, a young British goaltender got called up to the Nottingham Panthers and backstopped them to a big win at the weekend. Matty Blore, who mainly plays for the Nottingham Lions, was backing up for the Nottingham Panthers at the weekend. Their goalie for the Panthers went down injured. Matty Blore was brought in and backstopped them to a big win. So yeah, that is a very, very key thing. It was a 5-4 win for the Panthers over the Storm, but you know, he played pretty much all the game. I'm just going to check the stats for the game, because I think he came on and played most of it. 34 is Matt Blore, yeah. So he played 48 minutes of the game. I mean, so there you go. 48 minutes of the game he played. He let 4 in. But yeah, brilliant stuff to see a young guy come in and have to play, you know, such an intense game where usually he's been playing for the Nottingham Lions. So congratulations to Matty Blore for that. And, you know, hopefully bigger and better things for him. In other news, we've got a DOPS from the Elite League. And for those of you who keep an eye on the Manchester Storm, their match against the Sheffield Steelers at the weekend got rather feisty. And of course, the Elite League has now got a rebranding because Premier Sport is all part of Viaplay now. So the Viaplay Elite League Department of Player Safety has fined Manchester Storm's number 14 Chase Ruddy and 11 Cameron Critchlow for incidents in the game between the Storm and the Steelers on the 5th of November. Storm's 14 Ruddy is fined for his actions fighting aggressor and instigator 8 seconds in. And Manchester Storm's 11 Cameron Critchlow is fined for his actions instigating a second altercation at 34:47. So no, it doesn't appear to be suspensions, but it's fines for those two players. But those of you who attend Manchester Storm games and saw that particular game, it's one that I think I'm going to have a look at the highlights and see a bit more details of what happened. In terms of the NIHL now, we are going to actually quickly shove in a quick in the background, the sound of the police. Some disciplinary updates from a release from the 5th of November. Match penalties in the Leeds v Sheffield NIHL National League game have been subject to a video review, and after the review it was determined that Lee Haywood from Sheffield has his match penalty downgraded to a minor and 5+ game for slashing. Grant Cooper from Leeds has his match penalty downgraded to a minor for roughing. Neither player is subject to a suspension, and both have been able to play. Video reviews were requested from the Peterborough v Milton Keynes game, where Bobby Chamberlain from Milton Keynes received minor for slashing. After review, this was upgraded to a 5+ game for slashing, but did not reach the threshold for a match penalty. As a result of this, Bobby Chamberlain has reached 10 penalty points and has earned himself a 2-game suspension. Nathan Pollard from Peterborough received a boarding minor in the same game. After review, this has been upgraded to a match for an illegal check to the head, and the player has been suspended for 6 games. An incident in NHL South 1 between Milton Keynes Thunder and Streatham was subject to a review. Streatham's Ryan Watt received a major for boarding in the 3rd period. After review, this is upgraded to a match penalty for an illegal check to the head. It's a Tier 2 check to the head causing injury, so Ryan Watt has been suspended for 10 games plus 2 games for reaching 10 penalty points. And Invicta Mustangs Ryan O'Neill has reached 10 penalty points and is suspended for 2 games. So the tiers we went through a while ago, so it is a little clearer when they've reached a particular level. All details are available through the disciplinary pages on the NIHL website. And while we're in a bit of news, we're going to do it as a fixtures update. And many of you have seen the press release from the D-Side Dragons about postponements of games. So just to go through when these games are postponed, and in addition to the game from the 5th of November that needs to be rescheduled against the Widnes Wild, they have also postponed the following fixtures. Saturday 12th of November away to Solway Sharks, Sunday 13th of November at home to Solway Sharks, Saturday 19th of November at home to Widnes Wild, Sunday 20th of November home to Solihull Barons, Sunday 26th November at home to Billingham Stars, Saturday 3rd of December home to Whitley Warriors, and Sunday 4th of December away to the Nottingham Lions. So, due to complications with getting the rink ready over at the D-Side Leisure Centre, those games from the Saturday the 12th of November to Sunday the 4th of December for the D-Side Dragons have currently been postponed. So that's sort of some of our little bits of news. Which brings us on now, of course, to the usual thank yous and gratuities. Of course, if you want everything to do with the YKK Widnes Wild, you can do through the website widneswild.co.uk or the standard social media outlets like Facebook and twitter.com/widneswild, instagram.com/widneswildofficial. I think there might be TikTok or something going on now. I'll have to check with the social media people. You can also check out stuff through youtube.com/widneswild Ice Hockey Club. Of course, we still have own and loan shirts available, £80 each. That's for the home yellow, the away black, and the home sort of, I'll call it leaf green, dark sort of leafy green camo-y style. I actually quite like the warm-up shirts. Of course, we thank all of our sponsors, our title sponsor YKK, home penalty box sponsor Fresco Environmental, as well as Sprakes & Son, MPG, Crosscheck Clothing, Puck Drop, the University of Salford, and our charity, the Halton Haven Hospice. So, a few fixtures for your diaries. Firstly, for this coming Saturday, if my fixture list is correct, because we know the IHA have been doing their best, but from my fixture list anyway, this Saturday we've got under 14s action against Solihull at 4:20, and followed up by under 18s action v Sheffield at 6 p.m. In the meantime, on Sunday 13th of November, your YKK Widnes Wild will be taking on the Blackburn Hawks at 5:30 p.m. Of course, the game on Saturday 19th of December in D-side for the YKK Widnes Wild has currently been postponed. And so that takes us to Sunday the 20th of November, when we have the Widnes Wild Ladies again. We'll be visiting Leeds Ladies, so that's Leeds Ladies hosting the Widnes Wild Ladies at 6:15 on Sunday the 20th of November. Meanwhile, back at Planet Ice Widnes, your YKK Widnes Wild will be taking on the Sheffield Scimitars at 5:30 p.m. And that about rounds up that little bit of things for this week. A slightly shorter than normal Time to Go Wild podcast. We'll hopefully get some more scores to you as we can get them from the EIHA in future weeks. Of course, Sportle will hopefully be online very soon. In the meantime, all I can say is enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend, and of course, enjoy your ice hockey wherever you get it. This is the Time to Go Wild Radio podcast for another week. Enjoy your hockey wherever you get it. Till next time, ta-ra.